All right, we are live again. Just finished a before the train wreck session. This is a first stab, first try at a all Q&A, AMA, call it whatever you want. I know a lot of guys like to call in on the Before the Train Wreck series, and the questions seem to be so random and all over the place. I wanted to kind of see if I could do one that's just straight up all Q&A, just me. So I got Darren waiting. We're going to hop straight into it, guys. So I'm going to do this for about an hour probably or so. So if you want to ask a question, I will throw the join link in the chat here. There's nobody screening the calls tonight, so this is as real as it gets. Darren, what's up, brother?
Not much. I don't know if you caught. I sent you a DM or whatever on Instagram about. I was just down in Thailand, there in Pattaya.
Oh yeah. You wanted to share some experience. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So fill us in, man.
Well, I put up a YouTube video. I just did a little commentary while I was down there. I was in the moment, but man, it's just a different world down there. I don't know how to explain like how different it is, but I mean, even with the new technology, the internet, and I've been going to Thailand for years and years and years.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen the progression of the change of things going on over there, and within the last 5 years, it's changed a lot, I have to say.
Are you there right now?
No, I'm at home now. I'm
Okay.
in my relegated to my new bedroom in the basement of my own house. So.
Oh, okay. Does that mean you're going through a divorce?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember.
That's usually the standard protocol, right? As you move into the basement bedroom sort of thing.
Yeah.
Awesome life. Okay, so what happened in Thailand? Like, this is more of an experience share than a question, then, right?
Yeah, a little bit of that, and a little bit of questions. Basically, I just want to, this comment on the difference between, especially being older in your 40s and 50s. I'm just turned 53, and just going down there and observing the dynamics. Right, it's still a place where you have hope as a man. Like, you still, it's still male centric. You still, you see guys down there, and wouldn't have a prayer of talking to a woman here. At least go down there. You can go there. You can sit in a bar. You can.
They'll get attention from the local women, but I mean, they're really not, one, that attractive, and two, it's about the money at the end of the day as well, right?
Well, is it any different here? Is my question.
No, but at least they're more honest about it.
Over there.
Yeah.
Over there, it's more honest. That's what I say. Here, it's more covert, right?
And what about guys when they go over there? Do they actually have like the legitimate expectation that they're going to go and time travel into a bubble where these like women will actually, love them for who they are, sort of thing?
I'm sure.
Or do they know the reality? Like, she's just really with me for the cash.
A little of both.
Okay.
You got to be on another planet if you don't think that it's not about transaction, but the transaction's a hell of a lot less. And there's actually, it's not so bad. Like, they'll actually sit there and, the guy can have a conversation, shoot some pool, and, actually, have some young lady to laugh at their jokes. And, whereas here, you wouldn't even get a prayer of these guys even have a conversation with a woman. Like, if you've seen some of these guys, right? So it's just, I don't blame them. When I was younger going there, I see these guys and I go, oh, look at these guys, like they're, and kind of make fun of them. But now I realize that, hey, why not? What are you going to do at home? Sit at home, sit in a coffee shop, and then you go to a restaurant and some waitress, won't even be nice to you, and you're paying her tips. I mean, so I don't blame them at all. It's really, win-win for everybody there.
So refresh my memory, because you sent me a DM on Instagram, but what was the backstory behind it? Like, what was the revelation again?
This last week, I'm just saying, just sort of observing, about difference between Western world and East still. right? And
Yeah.
there's still that dynamic. You still have like there's guys down there, like say they go down there, and some of them do meet a lady, and they end up staying with them and retiring or spending half the year there.
Yeah, you're better off staying there to begin with anyway, rather than
Yeah,
bringing them back.
no, that's just a stupid move doing something like that. But I mean,
Yeah.
like I say, Rich, we're talking about guys here that wouldn't even, have a prayer of talking.
Yeah, of course.
And the caliber, like the caliber, is high. Like these are like some of like like I say they wouldn't even be able to mention a name to them, and these women here would just you're a creepy old dude as soon as you're over 40 anyways, right? Unless so it's a lot of money. There's transaction involved. It's no different here, except for there you're guaranteed whatever you want. The transaction can be, it's right out front. It's it's not covert. You're guaranteed whatever you want at the end of the night or whatever.
Is prostitution legal there?
It's not legal, but it's accepted.
Yeah.
But we're talking, the girls are different though. It's not like here where prostitution here is you're full of drug addicts and controlled by pimps and all that. No, these girls are working for themselves. They're there by choice. They're not forced. So, you know what I mean? They're forced maybe by economic circumstances. A lot of them are just regular girls. They work somewhere else in the day, like retail. Then at night, they might, what they call freelance and go.
So they call it freelancing?
Yeah. They call it.
They don't call it whoring. They call it freelancing, eh?
Yeah. That's what they call it there. Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, they're it's under no illusion. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're upfront and honest about it.
Exactly.
How long did you stay there for?
I was there about a month.
Okay.
So,
and where'd you stay?
I was in Bangkok for a while, and Bangkok's a big modern city, so the women are a little bit different there.
Yeah.
But again, it's still possible. And then Pattaya is like a playground, basically by the beach for old white guys with tattoos. That's basically what it is, and it's just full of available women. It's just packed. Like you can't walk down the street without being, you're being catcalled. Like you're being, you know what I mean? It's a totally different.
Yeah, but are you being catcalled by attractive women, or are we talking like
no
low value attractive women?
No, Rich, very attractive women. Like
there you go, guys. So if you're sucking at women in North America, go to Thailand and you get some very attractive women that will catcall you.
I mean, some of the dynamics are the same. I was in the gyms there, like I'm in I train Muay Thai and all that.
Yeah, that's right.
But I was in regular bodybuilding gym stuff in Bangkok. Stuff. Tottery still exists there. It's the same. It's the same.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So you can't go up to a tot in the gym there, same as you can at home, and just be polite, or you'll get blown off. So it's that still exists. So
yeah,
there's no difference there. But basically, but in general, it's still you're still able to get some.
So you had a good time.
Yeah,
very good time
for sure. It was worth it.
Yeah, you definitely go back again.
Yeah, I go back every year, man.
All right,
I
cool.
mean, so, I mean, it's just relief from what goes on around here. I mean,
Gotcha.
I
got a bunch of guys in the waiting area. Did you have a question too?
Yeah, one question for you. Is there any possibility? I've always wondered why we've never, as men, got together and lobbied against changing some of these ridiculous family law stuff.
That's a good question. A lot of people do that right now. They're called men's rights activists, MRAs. There's a lot of guys that have formed communities. They do events. They try to influence laws and bills when they're in parliament. But here's the problem: nobody wants to listen to a man whine.
Really,
right? And you sound like a whiny little man when you're going on about improving your rights. Where it's got to come from, and I've said this before on a broadcast, so not everybody's heard this yet, but if you want law to change, to make it balanced, to make it fair, because it's not fair right now, it's hostile towards men, especially in family law.
Exactly.
It's going to take women putting on their pink pussy hats and going down to Parliament and marching on Parliament and asking policymakers and influencers to change the law. And they're not going to do that. Why would they give up a great bargaining position for a shittier one?
Mm-hmm.
Why? I mean, they're just not going to do it, which is like, I got interested in the men's rights movement when I was getting divorced. And I remember talking to some people around the time, like, there's this bill in Parliament that's supposed to help us arrive at default shared parenting, and why doesn't it push through? And we gotta fight for this. We gotta push this thing sort of through, right? So I was very interested in that sort of stuff at one time, but you slowly start to learn after a while.
It's uphill.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Just shut up, man. Your tax cattle. Just bend over and grab the ankles and shut up. So, my take on it now is I don't want to waste any of my time or energy. I'm more of a kick up my feet and just kind of enjoy the decline, as Aaron Cleary would say. It's really just plot out the landmines, which is what we do. It's what I do when I broadcast. It's also what we do when we're talking on stuff like Rule Zero. It's like plot out the landmines, and now you know where the bad spots are and kind of go around them, sort of thing. And you can choose to take on the risk as you will. So that's just my take on it. I don't see any point in wasting any kind of time, effort, or energy in lobbying anybody to change the laws to make shit fair for men, because nobody cares. It's just shut up, man.
Well,
we just did the before the train wreck. I don't know if you saw it, but it's like there's guys like offing themselves and like there's guys offing themselves in greater numbers on deployment than what there are in mainland, right? Like it's gotten that bad, and they just don't care. I mean, they're not going to do anything to prevent it because it is what it is.
Yeah, because it's just you think that some of these women might have a conscience and that they've got brothers and fathers and you know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't care. Women don't care about the struggles. They hang out at the finish line and they pick the winner. Yeah, that's just what it really boils down to. So the sooner you can get your head around the reality of these tenets, of these realities of life, the easier it is for you to make choices and decisions based on those realities and just act accordingly. That's just my take on it. There's other takes on it, and they're free to do what they want. I could care less.
It's funny how when you talk to some brothers, and they just can't wrap their heads around that this shit goes on.
They're not ready for it because they actually have to experience the trauma firsthand before they're willing to want to listen to that conversation. Until then, they just look at you and go, Darren's just a meathead. Just go to the gym and pound some weights, bro. That's just their standard response to it. They don't care until they get pushed through the divorce grinder and they can't see their kids for 3 months of the year, but it is what it is.
Exactly. Or their paycheck gets or
they lose like 70% of their paycheck, but whatever. I got some dudes in the waiting. Thanks for hopping on, Darren.
Good. Okay.
We'll catch up with you later. Let me get that super chat real quick before I take the next caller. I dropped the join here. I'll drop the join link again if you guys want to hop in and ask a question. See how this goes tonight. It's kind of a trial. So Ryan, thanks for the super chat. 35 years old, enjoying life, 300K income, no kids, never been married. At what age should I settle down? Single life gets old, right or no? That's a complex question. I would invite you to click that link and join in, and I get you right to the front. If you if you want to chat first, I got some other people rating, so I'll move you up to the front because it's super chat. But that's a complex question, man. Like, where do you live? Do you want to have kids? What's your source of income? There's a lot of things to consider there. I'm vehemently opposed to marriage or living in a way that looks like marriage to the state. But that being said, if you have kids with somebody in North America, at some point it's going to be deemed a marriage, whether or not you sign a marriage contract. There's certain things you could do to protect it, right? I mean, I've talked to some guys that have, they do something called an expatriation, where they basically are no longer a citizen, so laws can't apply to them. They don't also pay taxes. There's different things that you can do. Hop on if you want to have a quick chat, but that's some very, very dynamic conversation. It's nothing I'd give like a quick answer to, but thanks for the super chat. I think Bad Daddy, you were waiting a little bit longer than Ricardo, so you're up. Go ahead. Bad Daddy, you got a question? 3, 2, 1. All right, you're gone. Guys, if you click that link, it's not a watch link. It is a hop on and ask a question link. You can watch from YouTube. So please go there and do that. Ricardo, I'm going to throw you in there. Ricardo, what's up, brother?
Hi, how's it going, Rich?
How you doing, man? You got a question?
Yeah, I was actually just listening to your discussion just now. Have you ever heard of Women Against Paternity Fraud? Like it's a movement in the States.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
It's another, feel good kind of, movement. There's no traction behind it, right? I mean, paternity fraud's been around for like since the dawn of time. Right?
Yeah.
It's nothing new. It's just, now we have genetic testing, so we can actually find out if we've been lied to, and that kid's not ours, it's Tyrone's kid instead. So this whole, like, women against paternity fraud thing, it's like, when you see men's rights activists, or women that claim to be pro male, it's like, it's just an exercise of masturbation at the end of the day. It's really just virtue signaling, if I'm being honest. They don't really have that much effect. They need to get all women to go down to Parliament Hill to influence policymakers and say, we want, for example, shared parenting. We want standard paternity testing at birth at the hospital. Are women going to do that? No, it's never going to happen, because there's something to benefit by fraudulently, declaring that guy to be the father because he's got more money than that guy and he's a deadbeat, sort of thing. So why would they want that benefit removed? It's just not a reality. It's not possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah.
I had a bit of a side question too. So I've gone through the whole family court thing. I have a baby mama. I have a kid with her.
Yeah.
I've had some good experiences, some bad experiences. That's been, through my whole situation. But I was wondering though, like, would you recommend hiring a female lawyer over a male lawyer? Because my female lawyer has been killing it for me. Like, she's been doing amazing.
Where do you live?
London, Ontario.
Oh, I had a male lawyer and I really liked him. He came highly recommended. He did my prenup as well. He also did some corporate work for me. He's a really, really good guy. So I don't know. I've not had any firsthand experience with a female lawyer. She's never going to know the male experience firsthand. She may sympathize with it, but if she's doing a good job, then carry on. If you feel like she's not, then I wouldn't hesitate in getting rid of her. I know that female lawyers with females, like your ex-wife, that's a pretty difficult combination. There's a lot of stress that you go through as a guy with that combo, but it's a stressful event either way. So if she's doing a good job, then just carry on, man.
Yeah, she is. Like, you won't even believe me what she got me too. Like, so when my kid was born, she was born here in London, but her mother took her 4 hours away to Belleville.
Okay.
And I have joint custody,
Yeah. Well, that's illegal. So, I mean, of course you're going to get her back. Right?
Yeah.
But there's some work that's involved with it. I mean, like, the problem, see, most guys don't understand that the default belief that most women have is because they carried the child for 9 months and they birthed them, that they have parental rights to the child. And, for the most part, like, women have been doing most of the caregiving, for hundreds of thousands, millions of years, whatever. But like, in today's environment, in today's day and age, even if you have a shared parenting plan, you're still going to see that happen. You're still going to see them try to run off with your kid, somewhere else. So it's incredibly important that you do not leave the matrimonial home until you have a signed shared parenting schedule with both parents agreeing to that. Because once you leave, then your ability to do what you did to have the law enforce the parenting plan and have her brought back is considerably harder. So there you have it. Cool.
All
right, Ricardo, I'll let you go.
Thanks.
I got a few more people in the waiting area. When I pull you out, by the way, guys, just make sure that you leave from StreamYard, and if you want to watch, just go back over to YouTube and watch from there. So Darren, Darren, you're still there. Just to make room, just leave from StreamYard and watch from YouTube. It just makes it a lot easier. So what I'll do is I'll just kick you from the studio. Don't take it personally. It's just I need to make a little bit of space. There you go. Garth, thank you for the super chat. Very kind of you. No question or statement there. Guys, if you have a super chat, you want to throw a question, drop it on there. Thanks. Mike or Mick, can you hear me? In 3, 2, 1. All right, guys. Oh, you're there. Hello?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Good, man. I've been watching the show for a while, man.
All right. You got a question tonight?
Yeah, I do, man.
What's shaking?
But I'm trying to figure out, like, so I've been married and I've been separated from my wife like like 6 years,
Mhm.
and I'm just trying to figure out like we got one child too, and she about 8.
Okay.
So I was just trying to figure out I'm kind of like in between jobs or whatever, but I'm trying to figure out. I live in Georgia,
Okay.
so I'm just trying to figure out like if I went through a divorce, like how would you think that would how they would play out?
Well, it's going to be hostile. You're not going to be treated very well. I'll tell you that from the get-go. You're not working right now?
Yeah, but no,
Okay, so you're not working.
not
So,
steady.
so do you guys live under the same roof still, or did she leave with your kid?
She left with the kid. That was
Yeah.
about we've been about 6. It's been about 6 years, 6-7 years.
Yeah.
We've
So
been
there's not much.
away.
So there's not much that you can do right now, man, with that situation. I mean, you got to have some bank so you can pay a lawyer to fight that for you. But even then, you're fighting an uphill battle if the precedent's already been set and you guys are under different roofs. Like, how long has she been out of the picture for now?
About 6 years.
Oh, she's been away for 6 years. When was the last time you saw your kid?
No, I mean she lives in Georgia, but I mean we
Yeah.
don't live on the same roof for about 6 years. I
Okay,
see
so
her
you're
and talk to her.
separated for 6 years, but do you still see your kid on a regular basis?
Yeah, I talked to her like a couple of days ago.
Okay. And you see her on a regular basis during a week, like half the week, a day of the week? Like, does your kid sleep over? Like, what's the scoop there?
She don't sleep over, but I mean if I want to go see her, I have to go over and see her on my own if I want to.
Yeah. And
She
how does your
can't,
ex treat you?
I mean,
Not very good, obviously.
when it comes down to, I guess it's kind of like, I guess as long as I don't call, like speak up and say anything, say how I feel, I guess everything's fine. But I mean, as far as trying to get control and stuff, no, not really.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Not at this stage. So let's say I've got a magic wand that I can wave to solve your problem right now. What does that look like for you?
I wish I never got married and had no kid.
Wait,
I
then
wanted
you're
a
talking
kid,
about
but
a
I wish
time
I never
machine.
got married.
Yeah. Well, then you're talking about a time machine, right? And that doesn't exist. So your ROI, I mean, your question really should be how how the hell do I get up out of this hole that you've dug yourself in and fix things? And you're going to have to start by improving your own life. I mean, you can't do shit about getting 50-50 custody. You can't do anything about convincing your ex that you're a better person than what she thinks you are. You're not working right now. You call it in between jobs, but you're not working right now. So, I mean, you got to take some time for you and work on yourself. It's real simple. A lot of guys will come to trauma, right? Like, you're basically sitting there right now going, this is messed up. I'm sitting here in trauma, clicking the link, talk to Rich. What do I do? Here's the thing. It's not that hard.
Oh, just to add on too, you might pass judgment to me, but I don't know. I mean, I'm ashamed, but I'm not ashamed. But then I'm 34 too, about to be 35. And I live home with my mama, man.
Okay. Well, you got to fix that, man.
And I've been there about 5, been almost going on 7 years, man.
Okay. So stop sulking. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Nobody cares. Women hang out at the finish line and they pick the winner. You've heard me say that, yeah?
Yeah, I heard you say that a lot.
Nobody cares about men. We had a guy that was asking earlier, like, well, what do we do? Why don't we get more men's rights? Why isn't it anybody doing anything? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about men. Guys, the sooner you get it through your head that no amount of sulking, no amount of, complaining about the situation that you're living in is going to change. Nobody is going to come in and save you. Guys save women. Okay. There's a reason why they call it Captain Save-A-Ho. There's no Chickie save the dude. That doesn't exist. There's no there's no subreddit for Chickie save the dude, sort of thing. You've got to get up and go out there and do the work and improve your life, man. You got to, you get out of the shower and you look down and you can't see your feet or your Johnson because there's too much belly fat. You need to lose the weight. You don't have any money in the bank account. And you're living at home with family. You got to go out there and make some bank. you're not going to be able to set a good example for your kid in the environment that you're in right now. You got to pick yourself up from that shit, right? There is no chickie save a dude.
And that is the whole concept to all this, man. And like I said, I mean, I have this, I have this thing like, sometimes I just feel like I just can't do it now, you know what I mean? Like move forward because, because of my childhood, you know?
That's a bullshit story that you're telling yourself, man. Everybody's got some bullshit story that they tell about themselves. I can't do better because of insert lie. Did you ever see the broadcast that I did with Sean Stevenson?
Who?
Sean Stevenson. I am going to dig it up for you guys right now, and I want you to watch this. Is it Mike or is it Mick? Can you hear me still?
Mike. I mean, MIC.
Okay, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm going to dig up the interview that I did with Sean Stevenson. He's dead now. He died last fall, summer. I can't remember when it was. I probably talked to him like 3 or 4 months before he died. This dude broke every bone in his body like 1,000 times. He's like 3 feet tall. They told him he would be lucky. Well, they didn't tell him this, but they told his parents he'd be lucky to live basically a few days after birth. He lived to about 40. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Conk just put it in the chat here. I'm going to put it in all chat. Anybody that's sitting around right now sulking, thinking their life sucks, how do I make it better? You know, my childhood's my fault. It's, you know, it's the problem of the government, whoever. Watch this video. Okay. I want you to watch this video. He's even got a book. It's called Get Off Your Butt. Watch this video, stop sulking, and then go and do some work. It's going to take you going to do the work to get up off your ass and do this. And I want you to come back on and click this damn link in 3, 5, 6 months when shit's better for you and report back how it's better and what work you did to make it better. Because I can't fix this for you. I can't reach out there and, you know, through camera world and make your shit better, Mike. You got to go in there and do it yourself. You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Watch that video. It's in the chat. I'll also put it in the private chat for you as well.
Okay.
Boom. So you can click that link over there. I want you to watch that. And you tell me that you can't do some work. You can't tell me after watching this video that you don't have an advantage over this 3-foot guy. Okay?
Okay.
Do that for me, okay?
All right.
All right. I'll see you later, man. Peace. All right. Guys, do not sulk. Nobody cares about men. There is no pity party for men. There is no chickie save a dude. It is what it is. That's just part of reality. Santiago, what's up, man? You're muted.
Hey, Rich, how's it going? It's
Fire away,
Santiago
dude.
from Mexico.
What's up, Mexico? What's shaking, man?
So I wanted to talk to you about, well, I've been on the red pill since I sent you the email, you and Rollo. I'm the veterinarian from Mexico. So I wanted
you got a setup now. You got a green screen. You got a mic and headphones. You're like a pro.
I'm actually, I'm doing better.
Say, okay. Before you continue, I just want to frame who this guy is so you guys know. He sent an email to Rollo that Rollo forwarded to me. What, about a year ago?
Yeah, well, a year and a half ago.
Okay, so I've had possibly 2 emails in my entire life that have made me cry. And this guy's email made me cry. Shakes me up a little bit right now, kind of thinking about it. But you tell the story, because I mean, like, you're about to commit suicide. You're in the bottom of the barrel, just like this guy Mike, like 2 seconds ago. Bottom of the barrel. My life sucks. My situation, this, that, and the other thing. Tell the story. Go ahead.
Just the TLDR of it. I was married for 8 years. I had been with this girl for 10 years. And all of a sudden, she says that she needs to bail out of the relationship, that she wants a divorce. She just grabs the dogs, grabs her stuff, and she's out the door. And soon after, I start receiving emails. We ran through the divorce machine pretty quickly, and she was actually rushing it. And I got a pretty good lawyer. And also here in Mexico, laws are a little bit shaky. So I got a pretty good divorce pretty quickly. And then I found out that she had been cheating on me since day one, because she had been diagnosed with BPD since she was really young, because she was apparently the psychiatrist said that she was abused as a young child, but whatever the reason, it was unforgivable. I found out that she had been cheating on me since we got married. Every time I got on a trip, she would basically, just to make it a quick example for people, you might be married to someone and then you find out that that someone is completely someone else. She would post in this app called Whisper. She would put messages and she would say, hey, I'll be on this hotel from this time to this time in the bar. I'll pick the winner from the guys that show up. I'll pick one, I'll bang him, and then I'll go back to my husband the next day when he comes back from his trip. So basically that was what's happening to me. I found out all of this because I hired a PI because I wanted to know what had happened. And then when I got it, I was going through everything, emails, pictures, WhatsApp messages, everything that the PI had gathered. And I was just going through a deep hole. And then all of a sudden, I was about to shoot. I'm a veterinarian. I'm an equine veterinarian. And I had a bottle of horse tranquilizer and a syringe. And I was about to shoot myself when all of a sudden I turned around and there was this message on my YouTube, one of Rich's videos on hypergamy. And then from there, I started going through all his videos. And then when I looked back, 6 hours had gone by, and I thank this guy for my life. If I hadn't seen that video, I wouldn't be here right now. So I really appreciate it. So every time I have a chance, I come and tell you, I owe you my life. And every minute I pass on this earth, it's an extra minute that I didn't have before, and I have thanks to you. So thank you very much. So I've been on the red pill for a year and a half. I've been doing awesome. I've been chasing excellence. I've been spinning plates. But to tell you the truth, and the reason why I'm calling is because a constant thing that I have in my mind is because I'm 38. So I'm in the middle of the road. So I'm starting to come down in my SMB, but I'm going to keep going and I'm getting much better. But all the women that I have around me are looking for other things that I'm not looking for. So spinning plates is awesome, but sooner or later, one of them is going to try to catch me, because I've like second or third time that we're together, they are like, hey, if you want to jump the ship without protection, just go for it, right?
Yeah. And how old are they?
Anything from 28 to 35.
Yeah, epiphany phase, right? So they want to have babies.
Exactly. So that's pretty
You're
dangerous.
Still a vet? You're still a veterinarian?
Yes, I'm still a veterinarian. I do a lot of things, but the veterinarian is my main job.
And vets get paid pretty well in Mexico?
We do. Horse veterinarians, we do.
Yeah, so you're a high value guy to them, right? Of course they want to get knocked up.
So and the problem is, the thing that I'm going through is figuring out if I want, like I've even gone through the process of thinking maybe I'll get a vasectomy and just get it knocked off. But it feels a little bit too extreme right now. And there are some papers there that say that you might get cerebral dementia from getting the vasectomy. Is not 100% like scientific, but I'm not sure. So I take care of myself. But
so what's your longer term goal? Like, do you want to have kids at all?
Not at this moment. Yeah. Okay. And probably not in the future, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you still got runway anyway. I mean, you could do this when you're 42, so it's not a big deal. But I mean, like, you're still dealing with the crap that you went through.
Yes.
You know, you're obviously dealing with, putting your life back together. How long ago did you guys get divorced?
We've been divorced over 2 years now.
Yeah. Okay.
And
how long were you guys together for?
9 years.
And how long was she cheating on you for?
10. All the time.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, realistically, for you to forget about that period of time, it's going to take you just as long to get past it. I mean, you're not really going to, like, by the time you're 45, you're going to be like, okay, that's so far in the past, I've completely forgotten about it. It's not even a thought that'll enter your head ever again by that stage, or randomly. But I mean, if you don't want to have kids right now and you just want to date, you want to spend place and just see what's out there, you should be dating younger than what you are right now. You should be going under 28. 27, 28.
The problem that I have, and that's the thing, one of the other things I do, I'm the director of a vet school. I'm not going to say the name just to keep it private.
Yeah.
But the problem is, if I go younger, I start getting into my students. So then that
Yeah, you don't want to. You
conflict
don't
of
really want to date your students when it comes to something like that.
No, you don't. So
Yeah.
that's a line that I cannot cross.
Yeah.
So 27, 28 is the youngest I can go without getting into trouble. Because if I, for example,
but I mean, you could date somebody that's 25 that's not a student.
Unfortunately, sometimes they are. So the promise, if I, for example, I open Tinder and I put younger than 25, sooner or later, so my students start popping up. So that means that I'm popping on them as well.
Yeah,
probably. So
how many students are in vet school?
In my vet school, over 700.
And where do you live? Like you in Mexico City, or
Mexico City, one of the biggest cities in the world.
I was going to say that's a big city. I mean, there's still a lot of under 25s that are not in your vet school.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but the problem is, if I show up, it is not the best impression to be in a dating app like that, just showing up for my students. So
you gotta like,
okay.
If I can be honest with you, there's a couple things that you can do, right? You know, you can increase your value slightly still. I mean, you can probably, change your look a little bit. I mean, your style looks pretty good, lose a little bit of weight, clean up. You know what I mean? And then that'll give you the opportunity to have a wider spectrum. But if you're going to date like, epiphany phase up, you're always going to run into that problem where they're going to say, go on, put a baby in me sort of thing. Either that, or you're going to be dealing with single moms with kids in tow from other men, which you don't want to deal with that either. So just be honest with them and say, look, hey, I'm open to kids, maybe in the future with the right chick, but not right now. So just lay it on the line and just tell them straight up, it's not happening right now. You're going to have to be patient.
I usually do that, but the problem is, it's like inverse psychology. The more you say it, the more they want it.
It's okay.
So,
so let them want it.
It's pretty dangerous. Like I've had a girl go through the trash trying to find the condoms.
Yeah. So that's why you got to flush them down the toilet.
Like, you're out. Like my best friend right now, it's Uber. I'm like, I'll call you your Uber. Get out of my house and just go out. Yeah.
So that like ties into the whole control the birth, like iron rule number or whatever it is. But you have to be in control of the birth. So if you're not going to have a vasectomy, you're either using condoms or you're going to have to be a really good puller outer.
No, I'm using condoms, but you have to be very careful what you do with them. So now I'm flushing every single one of them down the toilet. And
get up, leave, tighten a knot, flush it. See ya.
Yeah. It's pretty
bye, boys.
But it's a little stressful having like every girl you meet, it's a potential danger, and but that's part of the fun. But it gets it can get, the more you like the girl.
You're gonna have less of that if they're younger though, right? I mean, like you're gonna have less of them rifling through the garbage looking for the condom if they're 27, 28, right? Plus they're younger, they're always going to be hotter than the ones that are a little older. They're kind of approaching wall status. So just be careful. I'm very glad that you're still with us. I choke every time I hear you tell that story. Yeah, man, just do you. Mental point of origin, right?
Yeah, mental point of origin. Chasing excellence. Well, thank you very much, Rich. Nice to see you.
All right, my brother. Take care.
Have a good one.
Fuck, I love that guy. He's awesome. All right. I'm going to see who's next here. I think Bad Daddy, you left a comment there in the private chat. Let me see if that was you. That was you. Yeah. Okay. Non-relationship question. Add to stream. There you go.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Hey, sorry, I had to figure this stuff out. So my question is, I'm not worried about the relationship side of things right now.
Good.
My thing is I work for a company, got a job just over budget. And I've incorporated a company to where I'm doing a side job, and it's working to where on the weekends I can make just about as much bring home as I do through the week with the company that I work for. At what point do I say, screw it, and tell the company I'm working for, hey, I'm gone, and put my full effort into building something, even though I know I've got a little bit of debt? The old company is just, like I said, it's just over budget. It's just going to get me out of debt eventually.
This is a side hustle question.
Right, exactly. But when do I take the side hustle and make it a full-time thing rather than it just be a side hustle?
Well, ideally when it's going to allow you to pay for your living expenses. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of guys that run side hustles while they work a job, or they're trying to get the side hustle off the ground while they're working a job, thinking that it'll eventually become their full-time thing. Nothing will get you motivated. Nothing will get you closer to success, or at least give you a higher probability of success if you don't have a side hustle, if you just have a hustle. Because as long as you can rely on some guy to cut you a paycheck every 2 weeks, you're going to take less risks. You're probably going to be less motivated. You'll take an extra night off here and there. Whereas if it's the only thing that you have going on that's going to cover your bills, things will get done that much sooner. So if you have the opportunity to just walk away from the business and you're that serious about it and you're that confident in it doing something, I'd just say quit the job and go balls deep on the side hustle and make it your only hustle.
Okay, so I'm looking at, like, right now I have like 6 months of promises I've made to customers through the company I work for, but they could potentially be customers on the side, what's right now the side hustle.
Yeah, now you're going to run into a problem where you're competing with your old employer.
Well, yes, but I'm not doing the same work. So do I finish that 6 months of workout that I promised this one customer?
What are the labor's laws like where you live?
It's a what do you call it? At will.
Okay.
So they can fire me at any time. I can quit at any time. There's no real, even with contracts and no competes and stuff like that. Usually that stuff fails.
Yeah, they don't hold too much water anyway. Are you making at least $5,000 a month right now in the side hustle? Are you close to it?
About 3/4 of the way there.
Okay, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to wind down the business, right? I mean, you got 6 months to wind down the business in your old book of business with your employer and earn whatever you can earn from that.
And that's
like a legit way to go about it. I mean, it's just 6 months of your life.
And that's what I say. I mean, I've had a lot of crap happen in the past. I've got, of course, the future is going to happen. But 6 months is nothing compared to what's going on. So if I'm looking at, once these 4 or 5 jobs I got left to do are done, and I can look at the boss and say, I'm done, I'm gone, I'm going to take care of the side hustle. I can put more into it. And I guess it's more, is that direction I need to go? Because, like, I'm tired of the just over budget. I'm 44.
Yeah. So when you're 44, you tend to play more not to lose, right? I mean, you want to make money, you want to have a good experience, but you're taking fewer risks. And do you have like a rainy day fund? Do you have money saved up? I mean,
that's the problem right now.
Do you have a runway? You got 6 months of money saved for expenses?
Yeah, I don't at the moment. Okay. A lot of the work I do on side hustle will always be kind of cash, but
minimize. So just wind out the next 6 months, minimize your living expenses, cut out shit you don't need, cancel cable. Like, cable's stupid. Like, there's a lot of things that you can cut out of your life that you don't need, that are chewing up your time, that are burning through money that you don't need to spend money on. So figure out what those things are, cut them out, minimize, run out the next six months, and just double down on the business. And if you're 3/4 of the way there, there's no reason why you can't get to 100% of that mark within the next few months anyway. And that's just a starting point, right? I mean, like, you want to get to $20,000 a month and $50,000 a month,
Right.
Sort of
and that's like right now it's $300 or $400 a day if I was to work every day. But that's knowing I have that business there every day.
Yeah.
So, but then it can become $800.
You got a wife and kids?
$1,500. No, kids are gone. Don't have a wife. Don't have a girlfriend. Don't have no other obligations but myself.
Double down on what it is that you want to do here, and go put your little dents in the universe, man. You do not need anybody's permission. Go do it.
Cool. I like it, man. Thank you.
All right, brother. See you.
All right. Bye.
Jonathan, I'm going to throw you on next because you're the bros from the community. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up, killer?
How you doing?
Doing all right. So
this is a public broadcast, by the way. This isn't private. So just so you have a heads up.
So I've been struggling with a couple things. I won't say struggling because I'm pretty confident in my decisions, but I just want to throw it past you, see what your opinion is on the matter.
Yeah.
But I had a divorce, right? I don't know how much you guys are familiar with my situation, but married for 8 years, had 4 kids.
Yeah,
all that stuff, and I'm just fucking plowing through it right now. I'm fucking just pushing through all the bullshit, working on myself.
Watch the language a little bit. It's public.
Sorry.
Yeah,
pushing through the trash. Working on myself, getting everything together, and I see my projection. It's gonna be really good for me in a few years. I'm 29. I'm doing all the things right. a lot of it based on what I learned from you.
Mhm.
And I see my ex not doing a lot of things, right? Being stuck.
Yep.
But she has my kids, right? And I just feel like I need to separate myself from her before, she drags me back into that muck. But if I do that, I'm probably going to not see my kids as much. And probably
What does the muck look like? Like, what are you afraid of? What is that muck?
Just stuck in Charleston, man, like some country bumpkin place, nothing to do. And just.
How old are the kids?
7. Oh yeah. 7, 5, 4, and 2.
Yeah, you gotta you're basically handcuffed to. I mean, if you want to be involved in your kid's life, you want to see them go through school, you want to do the extracurriculars, you want to take vacations with them, you want to be part of their life, sort of thing. You're gonna you're basically handcuffed to there unless she decides to pick up and move somewhere else along with you. Not with you under the same roof, but you guys get together all right, fuck it, let's go to I don't know, San Diego, sort of thing. You guys decide to pick up and move all together and take the kids with you. You're pretty much handcuffed to that location. And that's something that's the grim reality of divorce, right? I mean, there's some guys I've seen that just say, this isn't worth it, and just pick up and they'll leave and they'll go to Thailand. That's one option. But you want to be in your kid's life, you have to make the best out of, what you got over there and just double down on whatever you can do to, make the best possible.
I'm actually in that position right now with some opportunities. I have some legit opportunities over on the West Coast. Seattle, Portland, San Fran.
Is she willing to move the kids with you?
Hell, no.
No, okay.
No, not even a little bit. And over here, because I do software, and it's just over here on the East Coast is horrible, man. It's totally different world over on the West Coast when it comes to the money you make, the opportunity, the people you can make connections with. It's
you're not self-employed though, right?
I am both. I'm self-employed. I do contract work for software companies, and I have my own company that I make profit from as well. So
you can go build this thing out wherever you want if you're self-employed, man. It doesn't matter where where you're located. You can sell it anywhere in the world, dude.
Yeah, I know, but most of my clients want to see me quite often though. So what
do they want to see you for? Do you actually have to go in and
sometimes
work on the hardware?
Well, not hardware, software stuff, but sometimes it'd be a pain if I was far away, right? If I had somebody over on the West Coast or somewhere in New York, it'd be a pain. I go to Manhattan sometimes.
Yeah.
That's a pain in itself,
So what happens if you spend less time in the town that you're in, and you have to travel more for work and to make some money?
I mean, certain things that my youngest is my son. He's 2, right? So I want to make sure he knows who his daddy is, right? That's the biggest thing. So,
well, you still have access to the kids, right? She's not preventing you from seeing them.
I do, but I feel like she's still very angry about a lot of things. So
why? Because you left her, or
no? She's the one that did the. She cheated, and I left her because of that, right?
So she's angry because you left her because of that.
It was confusing. She wanted to leave the marriage because she fell in love with the guy, right? And I said, all right, cool. Or let's do it then. We're done with this nonsense then. And now she's angry at that situation that I actually wasn't begging and pleading and all that nonsense about it. So
what happened to the guy that she was cheating on with?
She's not worried. She's not with him at all. That's a month. 1 month.
It's it's the whole eat, pray, love thing. Women get sold this bill of sale. It's a lie. Hey, just leave your husband and your family, go bang somebody else. Everything will be better. And it doesn't turn out that way.
Oh yeah, man. He's a total scrub too. That's the worst. And of course,
there's no ownership, right? It's never anybody else's fault but yours, John. So, you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to carry the burden of that too. So
performance, right?
Yeah. Okay, so let's move it along. Let's bust out the magic wand and wave it. We're going to solve the problem. What does that look like for you? What's the question here? So how do we?
Well, honestly, if I'm working on my Series A right now for my company, so we get that, which is going to be around 35, 45 million. Honestly, that's a lot of Series A on average, right? If we get that, then I can be wherever I want. And have that real FU money. We have some now, but a lot of it, honestly, just being responsible. I'm not going to salary myself out the wazoo for my company. That'd be irresponsible. My co-founders won't allow it either, honestly. So right now, Series A would have happened sooner than later. I can be wherever I want to. This would be a non-issue. Right. I can drop a lot of my contracting clients and just focus on not be a contractor and just be, co-founder. That's the magic wand, really. But until that happens, it's who knows how long that's going to take? Work my butt off, can happen in a month, a year. But until that happens, what do I do with my kids in that relationship, and like making sure that her toxic personality doesn't destroy my mental, because she's toxic as hell.
I mean, obviously. So here's what you got to get your head around. I mean, you cannot control anything in the universe but yourself. That's it. You cannot control your ex-wife. You can't control what people think of you. And at the end of the day, who fucking cares, right?
Yeah.
You can only control you and your beliefs and the results that you get within your own life. You can obviously have some influence on your kids as well, but at the end of the day, what guys need to realize, those of you that are sitting out there watching this right now thinking, "Ooh, I think I'm going to go get married one day and have children." You need to be attentive to who you select as a mother of your kids if you're going to walk into that slaughterhouse, because it is a slaughterhouse. And then you end up in a situation like John's in right now, where he's like, love my kids a bit, and my ex is a little bit crazy, but I want to put a dent in the universe, and I feel like I'm holding myself back. Well, this is the dichotomy that you're faced with. So the best that you can do, dude, is just spend as much time with them as you can, influence them as best as you can, show them, because kids really don't listen to what parents say. At the end of the day, they're really watching you more than anything. So show them what a top shelf, virtuous alpha man is, and just go about doing your thing. And there's probably going to be some acrimony. There's probably going to be some times where shit goes sideways. There's going to be times where you're not going to be able to talk to them. There's probably going to be fights with your ex-wife, as you go through all that stuff. But at the end of the day, when they become adults, as long as you stay firm and you stay the course and you continue on that path of chasing excellence, and you're putting a dent in the universe, and you're showing them what a man is all about, they're going to come around at some point. I mean, it's really going to boil down to what's your priority. I mean, you want to sit there fussing and fighting with your ex-wife all the time about her toxicity, because that's not going to change. You're just going to burn a lot of energy and resources on that. Or do you want to, go out and do your thing and make the bank and show your kids what a great dad you are, and, the kinds of things that you can offer them as well? I'd go with two. I go with part B, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. That makes sense, man.
All right. Go get it, man. Go get it.
Man, when Vegas comes, man, we're going to have a conversation, dude. Because there's more, but I want to be greedy with the time,
No. I'm in Vegas for like practically a week. So we'll sit down and talk for sure when I see you there.
Cool.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
See ya.
All
right. It's a good guy, that guy. He's trying to do the right thing. I saw a super chat up here. Let me quickly roll back up. I got some people in the waiting area. Got the super chat. I'm going to hit on the super chat first. Just stick with me. Hold on a second. Where is it here? This thing's really slow to load up on the screen. All right, Remo. Thanks for the super chat. He says, "Hey, Rich, can you quickly touch on peptides, and particularly interested in the one you use for your knee pain?" Yes. If you're in my community, I did an entire broadcast on peptides. It's private. It's behind the paywall. So if you're interested in that and getting access to all the other premium stuff, that's all there. But very, very quickly, BPC 157 is the peptide. Let me dig up the article and I'll post it for you. 157. There it is. So if this doesn't open when you click it, just Google search BPC 157 and Ben Greenfield, and I'll drop that link there. Read that article, explains exactly what the peptide is, how it works. Using it is a little bit bizarre if you've never used needles before, because you have to inject it into the joint area. But very quickly, I'll just kind of show you on my hand here. Put the mic up. I'm going to get rid of this to make some space. But let's say that this is your knee joint. Okay, right here. You're just going to grab a chunk of skin. You're going to pinch it up. Can you see it there? I don't know. You're basically just going to grab a chunk of it. You're going to pinch it up, and then the needle goes in that area over there. Use a very small gauge, like a 30 gauge, 5/16. It's water-based. It's easy to push in. If it's a knee, you can do it yourself. If it's something like an elbow joint or a shoulder joint, you're going to have somebody do it for you. But it's BPC 157, so look that up. Hope that helps. And let me scroll down here. So we got John. Who was next? I think Brandon. Brandon, we'll throw you in here, brother. All right, Brandon, fire away.
Rich.
What's up, dude?
My guy. I want to a couple of things. I want to start by saying, first of all, you're doing a great job. Thank you so much for all that info and knowledge you've been putting out on YouTube. I think you were the first guy that kind of got me into the whole the red pill info, female nature, etc., and had organized it so well in a concise manner, an effective manner. And so I want to say, yeah, you're doing a great job. Keep it up, and thank you so much.
All right, dude. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm a young guy, I'm 24, and you know, I would say I'm fortunate enough to have the internet at my disposal for all this info to be out there. So I'm very fortunate for that.
You guys live in great times. I'll be honest with you. A lot of this stuff did not exist when I was, young, obviously. Yeah,
it's tragic, and definitely times are changing for sure. So it still helps, considering the whole the e-thought girls and the TikTok, the Instagram, that thing, that's all of my entire generation. Yeah. The Tinder, all that. So anyway, thank you.
I see it.
One thing I want to add on to kind of what you were saying was it Mike? A few guys ago, Mike, yeah. Yeah. I would say, to add on to kind of what you said, when you're feeling down like that, or that feeling of helplessness, a good way to get that ball just rolling is to get in the gym, eat right. Those energy levels, a natural increase in serotonin, testosterone, you're just going to be in a better mood. You're a lot more positive. You're looking for opportunities. You're looking for something better in your life.
Correct.
The physiological kind of inputs in your life definitely affect you psychologically.
Yep.
And I guess I would say, kind of my question, or kind of what I really want to focus on is, I'm kind of at a loss for direction on what to do as far as career-wise or making money. I'd like to start a business. Kind of what do you recommend as a guy, younger guy? I mean, I've got time. I can take risks.
How old are you?
24. I don't have any children.
Do you have are you in school right now? You taking a university degree or something, or?
I dropped out. I was doing mechanical engineering, but it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't I guess.
Where do you live?
Houston, Texas.
Okay. So complete the sentence. I lose track of time when?
I lose track of time when, as far as like something I'm interested in doing, right? That really draws my attention.
You lose track of time when you do it. What is it that you do when you lose track of time?
I would say topics of psychology, nutrition, reading about that kind of stuff, psychoanalysis.
So why aren't you spending time doing things like that right now?
I think I party too much, for sure. Get caught up
you guys make me laugh, man. I want to be successful. I want to make money. I want to put a dent in the universe. Okay, why aren't you doing it? Well, I'm partying too much.
Well, that's one reason.
You see the problem there, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So again, the only thing that's standing in your way is you and the BS lies that you tell yourself over and over again, right? Well, I want to go do this, that, and the other thing I'm really passionate about. I lose track of time on it, but oh, look, there's a squirrel over there, and I'll go chase that shiny object because there's boobies at that party and boobs, right? I get it. I was 24 too, but you're calling in asking a question to something that you already have the answer to, and it's like, okay, you gotta you gotta spend less time doing dumb shit and doing more thing that's going to put you on your path and your purpose, and then start to execute and double down on that when you find it. You just haven't found it yet. So what you're doing is you're just wandering around aimlessly going, okay, I know I didn't like this part of school. I know that I like these things, but right now I'm 24 and girls look hot and boobies are nice and round. So I'm going to go to that party and get loaded tonight and see what happens.
I guess to be more specific, is it, I really hate school.
Okay, cool. So do I.
So, I mean, I'm not sure if I should be doing trade school, working on going to work in
the only time that men should be going to school. Okay. If I'm being honest, because most guys let school get in the way of their education. There's this British spoken word artist. His name's Sully Breaks. You can look him up.
Okay.
He's got a very popular YouTube video. I think it's titled "Don't Let School Get in the Way of Your Education." And there's nothing wrong with school. Okay, if you need like a university degree because you want to be in STEM, for example, science, engineering, math, technologies, that sort of thing. You want to, I don't know, build rockets or fucking, like be a math engineer or something like that. You need that degree. You need the piece of paper on the wall framed in mahogany to do those sorts of things. You want to practice medicine. You need a degree on the wall framed in mahogany. You want to be a lawyer. Same thing. If none of those things matter, you're wasting your time going to school, right? Go do things that light you up, figure out how to create a business out of things that light you up, and then double down on it once you figured out how that works. But right now you're rudderless. And every year that you waste time being rudderless, and some people say, well, what does rudderless mean? Well, throw a boat in the water in a fucking river with no rudder and see if it can find direction. That's what rudderless means, guys. For those of you that are unclear on what rudderless means, because sometimes that pops up in the comments. What does rudderless mean, Rich? I don't understand. Clarify that for me. Jesus, guy. Google, right? So right now you are rudderless, and you've got, at the end of the day, you're the captain of the ship. So what are you going to do? You're going to drop the rudder in the water and find some direction, or you want to keep partying for another couple of years? It's entirely up to you. I'll tell you one thing though, time flies, man. Time flies. I'm 46, and I still remember when I was 24, man. I used to ride motorcycles, sport bikes, popping wheelies, doing all kinds of shit, chicks on the back, going racing to 3 o'clock in the morning. Lots of fun. I get it. But, that time's long past from me now. It's never going to happen again. I enjoyed it, but, maybe starting up my first business could have happened at 27 instead of 30 for me, had I started a little bit earlier, had I not been rudderless, right?
So what were you selling or providing?
What, when I was 30?
In the business, yeah.
Oh, I was in the debt business. I got involved in my 20s. I was in my 20s rudderless, working for corporations, Equifax, collection agencies, stuff like that.
Right.
Making decent money. I think I left making about 6 figures or so, but I made them a shitload of money. I made them way more money than what they paid me. I'll tell you that. But took a package, went home at 30, and I was like, I'm not working for anybody else anymore. And I just went and started my own thing. But it's almost like I was forced into it. But for about 3 years, for about 3 or 4 years, I had a notepad on my desk, and I used to, this is so long ago, I used to read the newspaper at lunch, the business section. I had a notepad on my desk, and in my notepad, every single day at lunch, reading the business section, I would jot down business ideas, just one after the other, just jot down, just create ideas. One of the things that James Altucher talks about, if you don't follow him, he's an interesting guy. He's a little bit quirky and weird. He wrote a good book called Choose Yourself. I'd suggest reading it to guys out there that are watching right now.
Okay.
But grab that book and read it. It's a really interesting read. But one of the things that he said is you got to exercise the idea muscle. And I wasn't paying attention to what he was saying at the time. I was just doing this anyway, but it connected many years later. But I was just jotting down ideas that I had for businesses and problems that I thought that I could solve, or ideas that I came up reading the business section, because I used to follow stocks a lot and stuff like that. So, So just figure it out, man. Just put a rudder on it and start finding some direction. And, you're going to head in a direction. You're going to find out maybe that's for you. Maybe it's not for you, but at least you can redirect and go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
All right, man.
And one last thing. I guess you're talking about the community. I'm guessing you have some sort of like a Patreon or something similar.
I have so I have a community for those of you that are wondering right now. It's called the 1%, because only literally 1% of people that click the link actually join. So the conversion rate is very low, and it's very low for a reason, because there's work involved getting into it. It's behind a paywall. You can pay annually. It's just under $500 for the year, or it's, I think, $59 a month. And that's where all my premium content is. I do private Q&As for guys in there. So guys like John that was just on before, I've talked to him many times about other shit. But we do private Q&As. There's premium content. I got about three dozen premium videos that are not publicly on the channel, that are behind the paywall, that deal with everything from self-care to women and making money. So that's where the good stuff is. But that's not for you, if I'm being honest, because you're not ready for that. Watch the public stuff, get your shit together. The men's community that I run for the 1% is literally for men that are either in the top 1% or they're working towards being at the top 1%. You're not quite there yet, because you're still rudderless. So it's not a good fit for you, if I'm being honest.
Well, I'm gonna go rudder shopping. Appreciate it, Rich.
Do that, man. All right. See you later. Take care. All right. My man is going rudder shopping. I got a big super chat here. Let me just scroll up. Jerry Oaksmith. Thank you, kind sir. I appreciate your contribution. You're a good man. Thank you. I hope you guys are getting something out of this broadcast. I'll go for let's say another 20 minutes. I'll do 90 minutes tops. So it's getting late here. I'll drop the link again. There's some people waiting to hop in. Join it. Or you can also throw a super chat question if you want it. And ask question. You guys enjoying this? You guys want me to do more of these in the future? I've kind of gotten away from doing live Q&As. Copy. If so, drop a comment and let me know if you guys want me to do that. I'll maybe do more of these in the future, try to schedule it in. Okay, there it is in the chat. So Brandon got you done. Bad Daddy got you done. Jonathan. Okay, guys, after you're done asking the question and you're in the waiting area, I'm going to remove you. So just go to the channel and watch live over there because it just makes room for other people. So I'll just kick you from the studio. Don't take it personally, but I got to kick the guest to make space. Brandon, going to kick you. Thanks for hopping on. That's it. I got room for questions. If you guys have them, throw them in the chat. Hit it as a super chat. Click the link and join if you want to ask a question. I'll do another 25 minutes more. First time here, dig in the Q&A. Please do more. Hell yes, do more. Yes, sir. Okay. All right, you guys are getting something out of it then. Piece of cake for me to do these. Maybe I'll do them after before the train wreck on Monday nights and kind of schedule them on a regular thing so you guys know when they are if you want to hop on and ask a live question, get some clarity. I know there's a lot of guys out there that do live shows, and I've kind of gotten away from doing the live Q&As because there's just too much of the same old going over and over, and there's a lot of crap advice out there. So I feel bad for guys calling in on shows, getting shit advice from people that aren't particularly smart, I'm being honest. But yeah, we'll do a few more minutes on this. Let's see if there's any more questions here. Oh, hang on, there's a private chat question. Yeah, okay, you thought. Guys, if you have a question, join in. Here's a link. It's real tough for me to troubleshoot stuff in the chat, reading the chat comments. So hit that link and join. While I'm waiting for somebody to join in, let's do a quick bit of reminder, a shout out. My book is in rounds of edits right now. Some people are messaging me, when's the book going to come out? When's the book coming out? Just get on the list. It's just entrepreneursincars.com/red-flags. And I will drop that in the chat as well for you guys, because you need to get familiar with these red flags. Many times guys will call in asking questions about women they're having problems with, and they haven't even read the red flag chapter. There it is, linked in the chat. Get on that list. I do not email or spam the crap out of people. In fact, you'll probably hardly ever hear from me. I send maybe one email a month, and the big email that you're going to look for is when the book's ready. So I'll notify you when it's up. But grab that free chapter. Lots of useful information in that. Get clarity. Daniel, you're up, brother.
What's up, Rich? How you been?
I'm doing good.
Hey, man.
What can I do for you tonight?
This is kind of a question that I need to get some perspective on it, because I've been like sitting around thinking about it like for a long time now.
Yeah.
So I'm almost 2 years in my degree for computer science. I've been doing excellent.
Your audio just killed on you. Your audio's dead. You have no audio. You're muted. Dude, can you hear me? You're muted. Hello? Okay, I'm gonna remove you from the stream. Guys, make sure you got your audio sorted out before you hop on here. I'm gonna go back to the chat. I'm not sure if your headphones unplugged or what happened there, but it is what it is. It happens. Part of the fun of doing a live show. Let's see here. Tips on investing in your 20s. Yeah, I got lots of tips. Click the link, join in, and I'll answer your questions about what your situation is. It really depends on where you're at. Let's see here. Mike. What did Mike say? Just back from doing the work, late to the party. Any suggestions for a 50-year-old, freshly divorced engineering type? Ex-arm twisted me into retirement, now limited opportunities to rebound. Kind of a in-depth question, dude. A lot of, you know what? I don't understand guys and don't take this the wrong way. Like, don't think this is a disparaging statement or anything for that matter. But it's very, very difficult for me to offer some advice, not knowing anything about you, Mike, or anybody else that pops like a quick paragraph sort of question. You know, it's just tough to really give you some good advice or some actionable information to deal with that. Constantine, super chat. Thanks, brother. I have enough technical skills and experience to build a one-man business, and I'm actively pursuing one on the side. Have you seen successful one-man ventures, or will I probably need help? Dude, I'm a big fan of one-man ventures these days. Daniel? Oh, Daniel left in the waiting area. I'm not sure what happened to his audio. Daniel, if you're watching this, your audio cut out. I hope you could hear me, but it cut out, so come back in if you want. I'm a big fan of the Company of One model. There's a book called Company of One. It is not a great read if you have a lot of experience in business, but if you don't have much experience running a business and you want to hear some stories about some people that have run companies of one, it is a good book to listen to or read. I just had the audiobook. We actually had it in our book club in my men's community the other month. Again, experienced guys won't get much out of it, so check that out. Definitely understand that that is the way to go in the future. Is businesses, especially for men, I think anyway, are going to be run as a company of one more and more in the future. I've run a business with many staff. I think our payroll was, I think at one time it was like 110 grand, like every 2-week period. So the most expensive thing to most employers is payroll, is their staff, and they're incredibly ineffective. They're not that efficient. They don't intentionally cause problems, but as a byproduct of the regulations you have to work under, it causes a lot of problems for you as an employer. So you're far, far better off being very small, agile, and mobile, and going about things that way. But thanks for the super chat. I hope that answers or at least helps you out a little bit. Okay, Daniel, I'm going to pull you back in the stream. Your audio cut out about 5 seconds after you start.
Can you hear me now? Okay, perfect. Yeah, sorry about that. So pretty much what my question is just to give you a quick summary. I've been working in this computer science degree for around like 1.5 years now. I'm going to be finishing my associate's level degree on next spring. So by that time, it'll already be like the first 2 years on my way to that's like halfway of getting the full degree, which is the computer science degree at 4 years. And I'm going to a pretty good program after that. I'm thinking about like a top 5 program. Like the starting salary is something really ridiculous, like 115, because it's such a good program. But at the same time, I've been starting to feel more and more that it's out of place with like who I am. I just don't feel like motivated. I'm still doing pretty good in college. Like my GPA is doing well, but I just don't see the meaning behind any of it. You know,
where do you live?
It's like I live here in Illinois.
And how old are you?
Excuse me?
And how old are you?
I'm 20.
You got a bit of an accent. Where are you from?
I'm Chilean. Okay. So I'm living here in the US.
I think I've spoken to you before, right?
Yeah, you have.
Got it. Okay. So this is similar to the question you asked last time, like a number of months ago, yeah?
Not really. Last
you're talking about the same sort of engineering degree. What do I do?
Yeah. But it was along the lines of I believe the investing part. That's the last question that I did. Right now it's just I know that I already mentalize myself that this is not the thing that I want to do. I can't just spend 8 hours a day like coding or doing something like that. It's just not my type of deal.
What did I tell you at the time?
I believe you told me
to. What did I tell you?
Last time you told me, you told me just to fuck it, don't do it, don't do it anymore if it's not what I wanted to do.
Okay, so you're asking me the same question again? Like, you still think I'm going to stand by the same answer? You just want to make sure that I was sure about that?
No, because last time it was like the question was formulated in a different way. Right now, I just I want to do the move, but I want to see if it's worth it to just finish the associates so I can have something to back up on, or should I just straight up cut it right now?
This is the same degree that you hated last time you called in, right? You were really not into it.
It's just, it just doesn't match my personality, I guess. It's just not my thing.
So again, human beings like to complicate their lives and then justify why they do it. So,
we do.
Exactly. So I mean, you're basically calling me back to say, I really haven't changed my view. I'm not really that, into what I'm doing. I just want to make sure Rich is like, advice is consistent. He's going to say the exact same thing again.
I just need to fucking like hear it again, because it's just, it can go through my head. I'm playing not to lose, like you always say. I want to have something to back myself on, and I feel like
who is this for? Is this for you, or is this for your parents? Like, who are you doing this degree for?
I feel like it's for my parents. I'm starting to realize more and more that it's for my parents.
Where do your parents live?
One of my parents lives in Chile, and the other, she lives with me, with my mom, like in the apartment. So yeah.
Hang on, your mom lives with you there?
Yeah, in the apartment. Yeah.
Okay, so you live with your mom and your dad back in Chile.
Yeah, my dad lives in Chile. Yeah, so they're divorced.
Surprise, surprise, my friend. You're being enmeshed by your mommy. It's time to cut the umbilical cord.
It is. It's
time to cut you're not doing this for yourself. You're doing this for her because it's going to make her feel good.
And I have as well, like my grandfathers, all those things are in the back of my head when I'm doing these decisions. And I feel like I'm fucking doing this for other people. And I want to know how to stop doing it. Like how to be like,
you
more
cut the umbilical cord. You're a grown ass adult. You tell her to fuck off.
It's not like she overtly does it though. It's not like she rarely tells me like, oh, you should keep studying and why not? It's like,
as long as you're doing it. Yeah. I mean, you're still in the program. You're still doing it.
Exactly.
Does she work, or how does she?
No, of course she does. No, she does
works,
work.
okay.
She does. I do work as well, and yeah, most of my family, everybody works. But the thing is that it's like we're the first generation college students, so that's why it has like all this thing. But I've already realized I don't want to work for somebody else. I don't want to work for a company, because I see how that went for my family and shit, and I've seen how it goes for other people. Some people like make so much money like under companies, but they're just miserable, like doing something that they don't want.
Okay, so here's a big misconception a lot of guys have, and I don't know if this is like common for like Latin Americans, but I was in Mexico once. We were down in Cabo. We just did this like off-road race. We did 600 miles. There's about 25, 26 entrepreneurs, and we're sitting there in this room, and they had all these young students come in, about your age, a little bit younger, and they were asking questions about degrees and accounting and lawyering and all this kind of shit. And there's this like notion that if you have this piece of paper, it is a form of security. It will provide for you, like it's an ATM, like you can pull money out of it or some shit like that, and that you'll always be taken care of provided you have this piece of paper. But here's the thing that a lot of guys don't realize. As an entrepreneur, you don't need to fucking be an accountant. You don't need to be a lawyer. You hire them. You pay them to do the job that you need them to do for you, and then you cut them off and you get rid of them until you need them again. You don't actually have to, like, even for you to run a standard business that might even employ a handful of people, even if it's a company of one, you don't need any of these degrees on a piece of paper or on a wall. There's lots of guys that I've hired that have far more schooling than I do, that make way less money than I do. And they've got pieces of paper framed in mahogany on a wall. There's a really funny coloring book. Did you ever see the lawyer's coloring book?
No, what is that?
Okay, I'm going to spend some time on this because this is funny as hell. Anybody else seen the lawyer's coloring book? Say so in the chat. I know a lot of lawyers, so this is a bit of a comedy thing for me. Here we go. Because it's a serious joke. Here, let me share it on the screen. Hold on. You guys are getting some awesomeness tonight. I hope you guys are learning something here. You probably won't be able to see this because the font's not the greatest. But these are all the pages out of the lawyer's coloring book. Okay.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I could actually see it. Yeah.
You can probably just Google it and look it up afterwards. But it's like in this one over here, I don't know if you can see my cursor. It says, This is my desk. It is mahogany. Important people have mahogany desk. My walls are mahogany too. I wish I was mahogany. The entire book is like based on this coloring book is all based on this like funny theme over here. So, and this is the sort of thing that lawyers pass around to their friends because they realize how stupid and pathetic certain parts of their days and lives are when they see the comedy, in what it is they've been working their ass off trying to do. So they could have a mahogany desk with mahogany walls and they wish that they were made out of mahogany too, sort of thing. So the point that I'm trying to make here is you're on this earth one time. As far as you know, when you're dead, that's it. Maybe there's a bonus round, maybe there's not. Who knows? But this is it. Okay. Why are you living your life wasting it on some bullshit, trying to fulfill somebody else's dream or passion or to validate yourself when you know it's not what you want and you have bigger dreams and passions that you want to move into? That being said, hey, if you're close to graduating and you got another 3 or 6 months, just finish the fucking thing and get it out of the way. But get on with the business of doing what it is that you want to do. A lot of guys, and you guys will start to notice this tonight, as you're watching this broadcast, are going to call in looking for permission. Give me permission to leave my wife. Give me permission to start my business. Give me permission to, quit my job. You don't need anybody's permission. Just go do it. Just start. Just begin. Right? In the absence of clarity, do something. Anything. Do something. As long as it moves you closer towards your goal. All right?
All right, man. Thank you so much.
You're out, Daniel. See you next time. Come back with an update. Like I will. This little dent that I'm starting to make.
I will. I'll report 6 months from now.
Good.
Straight up.
I'll see you then. Man. All right. What time is it now? I feel like I should be wrapping this up. Dave, I'm going to pull you in real quick because you've been waiting and you're one of my bros from the community. So what's happening there real quick? Do like 10 minutes.
How do you manage your exposure to social media? Like I'm starting to go down the rabbit hole reading, the 1% and the business entrepreneur group.
Yeah.
And I'm spending too much time there. I need to kind of chop that off and start working on things. I've got some other loose ends I need to tie up. What do you use as a mechanism to kind of flip that back over and refocus?
I'm not sure I'm following the question because you started out with social media, but now you're talking about focus. Is it a focus question or is it a social media question? Or is social media dragging you from focus?
Yeah, social media is dragging me from focus.
Okay, well, here's the thing about social media for guys, right? We're not going to go on there and take pictures of our TNA. It's not what we do. No. We're not on there for validation.
Yeah.
If you're using social media, you're using social media to make money is what you should be using it for. Or the other component of it is you're also using it for social proof, but really it should be used to make money. So if you're using it for no other reason, then stop using it. It's just like a vortex that'll suck you into crap and BS eventually. Get rid of social apps off your phone if you don't need them, right? I mean, if you're not running a business, like if I didn't set up my life, like my entire structure today as a company of one, kind of like how I run my own show sort of thing, I wouldn't have Twitter on my phone. I wouldn't have Instagram on my phone. I wouldn't have Facebook on my phone. I have none of those things because they're a distraction and they really consume a lot of time, if I'm being honest. But at the same time, when I do use it, I use it for a legitimate reason. Like, you're on the business page, Dave. So you saw the post that I did with those 20 Instagram posts that I'm going to put out, right? Like you saw that?
Is that today?
I think I put it up on Sunday. I don't know if you saw it there. Did you see it?
No, I haven't. I'll have to go back and check.
Yeah. So like I created those in batch work because I know that I have 20 red flags from the free chapter, and I'm going to put out the 20 red flags in summary in Instagram posts to broadcast to my audience that follows me out over there, to give them some value, to give them some useful information. And there's a call to action in it that says, click the link, get on the list, because when the book's out, you're going to get notified, right? So I'm using social media for a purpose. I'm not using it to get validation or anything from anybody. I could give a fuck what anybody cares about me. You guys know that I'm the ZFG guy, right? So I'm not looking for likes or comments. I don't even engage in comments, for the most part. Sometimes people just end up bickering with each other. There's some lady that bickers with like 3 guys and they just butt heads. I don't have time for that. I got stuff I got to do. And that's what I use social media for. You have to limit it to just that purpose. And then that way you can stay on your focus. You can stay on your purpose so you don't get distracted, right?
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The other thing I've been thinking about, and that's, you're older, Rollo's older, and I'm older. And there's a kind of a different focus on where we're looking at for long-term type things. And, a lot of the commentary is about chasing tail and, becoming your best that you can be. and I'm going through some struggles with my wife on as we're getting older. There are differences in attitude, and I get stuck on that every now and then. But it's not one of those things I dwell on. But it pops up every now and then when you start reading about health, and they had 6 deaths in Washington State this last weekend on the virus thing that's been broken out. Yeah. So it's, there's some issues that you kind of dwell on every now and then. But generally I'm pretty well focused, and I've got a lot of things that keep me from focusing on the things I want to, mostly work, because they're making me do stuff I don't want to do. I'm getting tired of doing it.
So sorry, what's the question? Are you talking about aging here, or?
Yeah, more or less. You got a different focus than when you were younger.
The biggest shift that I see, that I only started to realize, in the last couple of years, is when I was 30, I was hardcore playing to win, man. Hardcore. Like I remember there was months where I would put $80,000 away from profits that I could make in a month, right? I was working my ass off 7 days a week, 2-4-7. I mean, not that I work a lot less right now, but I was playing to win so hard that it probably prematurely aged me a little bit. Maybe I lost hair a little faster than what I should have. Who the fuck knows? Who cares at the end of the day? But I was so determined to make something out of myself and to prove to the people that let me go, that gave me a package and sent me home, that I was capable of doing something and impacting people's lives and creating value. So I was playing to win hardcore. But by the time you get to a certain age and you've made the money and you diversify, you've got it in your multiple streams of income, you've got them in holdcos and private equity stuff and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people, they'll look at me and they'll go, "Oh, Rich makes so much money off soap," or he's a shiller, or he makes it all off ad revenue. Guys, this YouTube thing for me is fun more than anything. It's not my main source of revenue. But right now I'm playing not to lose. And when you play not to lose, you take fewer risks. You take fewer risks with your health. Like I was thinking today myself, right? Like, okay, coronavirus is a problem. I'm 46, so I'm not in the higher risk demographic. You're in a higher risk demographic than I am. But I'm also starting to think to myself, you know what? If this starts to show up more and more in Toronto, I'm probably not going to go to the gym. I'll do home workouts just so I don't expose myself to unnecessary risks, right? I don't want to get sick and be bedridden if I don't need to be, right? Like I got shit I got to do. I got a kid. There's all kinds of stuff that I want to do. So you just have to take an accurate assessment of where you are today. And your body tells you, Dave. I mean, like your body tells you, like my body tells me in the morning when my back's messed up. I know it. Yeah. If I don't go on the inversion table, if I'm not drinking enough water, if I'm not taking the supplementation, I know that does the job that works for me. My body's going to tell me. So you just have to listen to it and tune in. But the most important thing, Dave, is just get done what it is that you want to do and don't procrastinate. I said this before to another guy earlier. In the absence of clarity, do something. Okay. You're sitting there thinking about your social media posts and the product that you want to push out. Just get your photography done and start taking some photographs. Find the top shelf guys out there that are getting good reach and good engagement on their posts. Do what they do. Right. And then you kind of it's all about pivots. It's all about pivots. A guy explained it to me like this once. He said, when the military shoots a missile, it's not like 1941 where Adolf Hitler had, the V1 rocket where you push a button, it just flies straight and it runs out of gas and falls down. Today, you fire a military weapon, it's guided. You can pivot as you need to. So as you start to notice that you're off course, you should be pivoting your life and you should be course correcting yourself just like you can with a guided missile, right? Because that's really what we are as human beings, is we're a weapon, right? And you should be doing things of impact and greatness. I don't know. Does that help, or am I just rambling?
You're making sense. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you got to go back to basics. Like I gotta sit down and religiously work out of my day timer, because that's what I had the most success with long ago, and that kept me focused because it gave me something to write in and continue to monitor and track.
You know it's easy. Just start with the top 3. Just write down 3 things that you need to do this week with that business. 3 important things that are going to move the bar, that are going to get you closer to your goal. Write those down and then get that done this week. And then next week it's going to be 3 other things.
3 more. Yeah.
And then once you get that pattern down, instead of doing 3 things every week, do 3 things every 3 days. And then you're going to get it down to 3 things a day, sort of thing, when you become more productive and more efficient at what you're doing. But just start getting some wins so you feel like you're doing something productive.
Yeah, I just need to get back in the trade wins and have it blow me ahead a little bit.
All right. Get at it, man.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Talk to you soon.
Yep.
Take care. All right, guys, that's it. I'm done. I did 90 minutes on Before the Train Wreck. I did 90 minutes of live Q&A. Want to thank everybody that's hopped on, participated. Looks like you guys dug this. So I'll do another one of these 2 weeks time after the Before the Train Wreck. So that'll make it easier for you guys to know when it'll happen. I'll do it after the Before the Train Wreck, 2 weeks time. So come with questions, make sure your audio is sorted out, and get ready to do the work. And if you're not going to do it, I'm going to be yelling at your ass and telling you to do it. So thanks for watching. See you guys later. Peace out.